All right, ladies, let's be real. Communicating with men sometimes can be pretty tricky. Okay, I'm going to go through a whole bunch of things and whole different scenarios where what does a man actually mean? So you get really good at communicating to men so you can just have a better conversation, a better relationship, yeah? How your communication goes in relationships is extremely important. So we're going to go through it all, okay? And that's so you can learn how to communicate to men properly. When a guy says, can we talk about this later? Pretty common one, okay? It means he feels overly stressed about the conversation you're talking about. He doesn't know how to handle it. He doesn't know what you want to do. He feels frustrated with the whole process. And it also means you're probably coming across criticizing, yeah? And it's making him feel wrong. It's making him feel like a bad partner. In those moments, you need to soften and use more feminine communication. When he says, I like a girl who doesn't wear much makeup. This is funny. Either you're bad at putting on makeup and you actually look bad doing makeup, which I know every girl thinks they look way better wearing makeup. Some look worse because they don't know how to do it. Watch a YouTube tutorial. Or he could also be really insecure and doesn't want you looking too good because he's afraid of losing you because his own lack of confidence and insecurities, which is bad and common. If he says, shall we go halves? This is a good one. So obviously the man should pay for 100% of the date. If he says, let's go halves, what does it mean? It means he doesn't like you. It means he's a loser. It means he doesn't know how to date properly and he doesn't want to see you again. It's bad. Never offer to pay. Don't offer to pay half either. If he says coldly, I'm busy, that means he is overly stressed, not just on time, but also he feels there's too much on his plate and he needs to practice stress mitigation. If a guy just says, I'm busy flat, what you want to do in those moments, you want to take pressure off, any negative pressure off, and you want to use positive things like flirting, being super affectionate and kind, really flirty type, feminine type communication. That's going to make him feel better and less stressed, basically, because if he says, I'm busy, it's not he's busy, he feels stressed in that moment as well. What if he says, I didn't mean it like that? He's starting to backpedal, okay? He said something stupid and he's trying to reverse it. Girls, give guys a bit of benefit of the doubt here, okay? Men sometimes say stupid stuff. They often don't do it to try to hurt you. They often do it just because they didn't think about it and they just sometimes say the wrong thing. We all do sometimes. Let's go somewhere cozy. That's a good one. So basically he's saying, I want to sleep with you. Let's go and find a quiet area. Okay, it's flirting. Enjoy it. If a guy says you're fairly intimidating, that's quite a red flag. That's saying, I feel overwhelmed in your presence and you're freaking me out. It's a sign of his weakness, his lack of confidence in dating, his lack of confidence in relationships, his lack of confidence with masculine and feminine energy. It's a fairly big red flag on all levels, but also you could be coming across very demanding and masculine, and men don't want a masculine woman. It's unattractive. I'm just having fun right now. Okay, if he says any sort of weak sort of sentence like, oh, I'm just having fun, or I don't really care about titles, or I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, any sort of just weak, fluffy sort of language like that, it means basically he's just wasting your time. He's probably immature. Now, at the same time, don't ask a guy what he's looking for too early. A guy doesn't know whether he wants a relationship or doesn't want a relationship because it's dependent on the girl. It depends how much he likes you. That's what it's dependent on. So don't ask him that question too early. You want to let it develop organically. There's lots of weak sort of shitty sentences guys can say. I need space. I'm not ready for a relationship. You deserve someone better than me. I'm just going to hurt you. All these sort of shitty, weak sentences, huge red flags. Think about it this way. Imagine if a guy was coming to interview for a job and he came to the job and said, I'm actually really bad at this job and I'm always going to be bad at this job. Would you hire him for the job? I wouldn't. He's doing a terrible job at advertising himself. This is basically what a guy says to you. Yeah. He's saying, I'm really bad at relationships. Let's have a relationship. If a guy says he's going to hurt you, believe him. Go, thanks for the heads up. See ya. And get out of there. 100%. A lot of you guys know that I teach men and women shouldn't be friends. Controversial, but it's one of the things. It's important, right? Boys and girls shouldn't be friends. If he says something like, oh, are they your friends? Or how do you know that guy? He's not comfortable with you being friends with those guys, but he may lack the confidence to set the boundary properly, which is in turn going to make it far harder to achieve a proper 10 out of 10 relationship. How many guys have you slept with? If he asks anything about body count, it's basically a sign of immaturity, which does happen sometimes, but whatever you say, don't say a number. Tell him you're a virgin. Tell him, oh, I have no idea. Not many. I don't count stupid stuff like that. Whatever you say, don't say the number. I don't care if it's 5 or 500, don't say it. Then you also have the positive sentences, guys. I really like you. I love you. If a guy says those things, he means it. Believe him and return the compliment. It means he likes you a lot and sees a future with you. It's a very good sign. If he says something like, oh, my job's pretty complicated, he may just be bragging, basically. He wants to seem really smart and, sophisticated and intelligent and all this sort of stuff. People who are actually smart and successful tend to simplify what they do. People who lack some confidence in themselves and seek validation through that, they want to make themselves seem what they do more complicated and convoluted for no particular reason but to just validate themselves. Not one of my favorite traits, that's for sure. Let's take things slow and see what happens. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you probably know about my timeline. So you want to meet a guy online dating, go on a date a week later, then another date a week later, then another date a week later, and then you go exclusive, and then another date, then another date, then another date, then you go official. Okay, so you got to do all of it properly. If you try to pressure him for a relationship too early, before the 8-week mark, it's too fast. Let it grow organically, be lovable, so he falls in love with you, then he'll say I love you and you become official around the 8-week mark. You don't need to ask, you don't need to pressure him. It'll happen organically if you're the one. What have you been doing all day? If you ask a question, the first thing I want you to think he meant it nicely, firstly. Don't take it insultingly, okay? So try to take it nicely to begin with, and hopefully that's the way he meant it, and it's just a conversation starter of curiosity, and you can just have a conversation. What if he says, I promise? Now, technically there's nothing wrong with promises. I would be a little hesitant on a guy who makes a lot of promises. A masculine man means what he says and says what he means. If he promises lots of things all the time, my brain goes, can you fulfill all these promises? That's a lot of promises you're making. So a masculine, intelligent guy doesn't make a lot of promises, but he always sticks to his word. Extremely important. It's a sign of a masculine man, and integrity, very important.